After using the Huawei Mate XT, I ended up picking up an iPhone 16 Pro Max for $1,399. Why do I say that? First off, during my time with the Mate XT, I honestly just felt a bit underwhelmed, because I did spend $3,799, right? Don't get me wrong, it's really innovative in its form factor and unique, but as far as day-to-day use goes, on top of that, my backup phone is the iPhone 16, with a 60Hz display, no telephoto lens, and a USB 2.0 port, which have been a bit frustrating. So, I'll take the plunge and grab the latest iPhone flagship. Alright, let's cut to the chase and get this unboxing started. The packaging is super minimalist. That's classic Apple. Oh, this just feels like greenwashing and fake environmentalism, right? Check out this unboxing. Once opened, there's no 7-day no reason return. It's from a third-party platform, but it doesn't matter. I'm using this as my daily driver anyway. Even the car charger's packaging feels super cheap. Unlike the Mate XT, which felt way overpackaged, this is super basic. Though to be fair, the Mate XT did come with tons of freebies. Headphones, a car charger, and more. Then when I opened it, I noticed there was dust on my iPhone 16 Pro Max's lens. Come on. Can you see it? Right here. Great. It looks like this box was opened before, though the phone itself hasn't been activated. Look at the bubble on it. Plus there are some torn marks on the box. I'm just checking to make sure there are no cosmetic issues. Let me flip it around and take a look. It's okay. The orange color's actually not bad. Why did I go with white again? I swear, iPhone's limited color schemes feel like they'll be outdated by next year. Except for far field blue, but for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I think this silver one is the best. It's just my style. This silver is really timeless, classic and elegant. Let's check out the accessories, shall we? It's just a measly USB-C to USB-C cable and a SIM card pin. It's really shabby. And there is no phone film, no screen protector, no case, nothing. Yep, classic Apple, am I right? But hey, I did pay for the 512GB version, so let's cut to the chase. Let's lift the veil and see what we've got. It's still a classic iPhone through and through. Why did I get an iPhone? Mainly because it's reliable. Compared to the Mate X2, it has way fewer compatibility issues. Also, I need a solid tool for recording videos. The iPhone 16 Pro Max's telephoto lens has amazing image quality, but it has one drawback: no telephoto macro mode. It has main, wide, and telephoto lenses, plus a high-quality CMOS sensor for professional video recording. No other device can match it. The iPhone is the clear choice. I honestly haven't found a better option. It only has two flaws: no high refresh rate. The iPhone 16 is pretty solid all around, and no telephoto lens. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked the 16 Pro Max. Wait, there's another thing. The XT's battery life just isn't enough for me. After all, it's a 9010 watch. It's a bit too tight. It's far behind today's mainstream phones, as we all know, so I'll still go with the 18 Pro to guarantee a smooth daily experience. As you can see, there's an option to connect to a new iPhone. We can jump straight into pairing. It's really convenient. To connect to a new iPhone, we can jump straight into pairing. It's really convenient. Scan your face, then this QR code, and it'll auto-configure everything. The iPhone 16e's screen feels a bit cold, while the 16 Pro Max's is warmer. I can spot the screen quality difference at a glance. The Pro Max is better for photos. You really need the Pro Max experience. Let's activate it now. I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro Max for over a month, but I'm just starting to share my experience. I didn't expect the last video to be so long, mainly because I want to share my actual usage experience with you. That's why I've been using it for a bit longer. Now I think it's way better than my Mate XT. The triple fold is mostly for show, not very practical. But the iPhone 16 Pro Max is a much more practical flagship. First off, it has main, telephoto, and wide lenses. While its camera isn't the absolute best and lags behind domestic competitors, its video recording is definitely top-notch. This month, I've been using this iPhone to record everywhere. The main, telephoto, and wide-angle videos all look great. Unfortunately, the telephoto lens lacks telephoto macro. Right now, all magnification is just cropped from the main camera. I think the iPhone's camera would be even better. Of course, some people will say Xiaomi and Vivo have great video recording features. If it added a telephoto macro, making its photography and video recording the best of the best, so why aren't they as good as the iPhone? In fact, they have higher power consumption, shorter recording time, and less smooth picture performance than the iPhone. I hope domestic brands can gradually catch up in this area. As for photos, I've taken a lot with it this month. I find the iPhone's photos look more realistic, not overly stylized. I actually missed a much criticized iPhone video recording button now that I'm on Android. Honestly, I don't use it often, but when I need it, it's quick to wake up. It's a gradual process. Habits form over time. When taking photos, iPhone Live photos can be shared directly to Moments, which Android can't do. The GIFs on Moments look quite different now. Android has live photos too, but they can't be posted to Moments. I know Apple has its own stylistic settings, which are nice, but I find the standard mode more reliable. I've used it for photos this month, so let's look at the sample shots. After seeing this, how would you rate its camera 1-5? Next, let's talk about the screen experience. Mine is from LG. Now many people check their screen supplier, even with G9N or G9Q panels. My screen isn't top tier, but it's still acceptable. First, the bezels are much slimmer this time. Let me show you. The right one is the iPhone 16, and the left is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. You can really see the difference between their screens. But look, AirDrop sharing still works when you get close. However, in the month I've used the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I've had to replace my tempered film 3 to 4 times, and they feel more fragile. In daily use, apps like WeChat and QQ used to send messages one by one. But it's fixed now, but sometimes without push notifications. Messages arrive 2 minutes late, and you'll get a batch of old messages at once. I wonder if others have this issue. Many iPhone users have reported similar message delays. My Huawei Mate X5 has the same issue as my Nex. WeChat on my Nex also requires opening and waiting to receive messages, and the push mechanism could use some optimization. Another highlight is daily battery life. The iPhone is top tier here, even with just a 4000 mAh battery. The iPhone's battery life is top tier, even though it's listed as 4600 mAh. Apple actually includes a 4700 mAh oversized battery. Look, it shows 100%, but it's actually 105106, even with 6000 mAh plus batteries. That's intentional design, giving a little extra capacity. Android phones can't match this, but the A18 Pro chip makes the difference. On paper, Apple's specs are lower. Its power optimization, system efficiency, and power consumption performance are all excellent. The iPhone 16 Pro Max's battery life feels invincible, even better than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Lite phones I've used. Even the Mate XT with Kirin 9010 and its high resolution can't compare. Anyway, this iPhone's battery life deserves praise. It easily lasts a full day. But there's a catch, as the saying goes. What is the price of golden? Its charging speed is very slow, which goes without saying. This time, the iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with a 40W charger, but that 40W only lasts for 1 second. After that, it drops to the 27W level of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's still way too slow. Nowadays, even $288 Android phone has 27W charging, yet Apple still sticks to this speed. Isn't that a bit unreasonable? Will the iPhone 17 Pro Max get 45W charging? And iOS? It's not as bulletproof or smooth as it used to be. Still, in my experience, it gives you solid long-term stability. But sometimes, like when I open the camera and it freezes or goes black, that's a real bummer. So, it doesn't have any fatal bugs. Some people joke that iPhone bugs are smooth and laggy. I don't know if that's a meme or actually true. Either way, in the month I've used it, it's had way fewer bugs than the Mate 30. Overall, its smoothness is actually really impressive. A lot of people say, oh, the iPhone isn't good. But let's be real, its sales are still world-leading, right? I used to be an iPhone user for a year, but then I intentionally stopped using it. I've used a bunch of different Android phones, so switching back to iPhone was pretty emotional for me. When you actually pop in a SIM and start using it, you'll find it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Nowadays, it is indeed inferior to domestic brands in many ways. However, when it comes to the Pro models, things like the high refresh rate and battery life they still deliver. All in all, I think it lives up to the iPhone Pro Max name. The main downside of the overall experience is the 480Hz low-frequency PWM flickering, but I just lowered my expectations to rock bottom, and honestly, the screen isn't that bad. Still, if you compare it to domestic eye protection phones, there is still a gap. Whether you're an iPhone user or not, don't use your phone in dim light. It's irresponsible to you and your eyes. Of course, this is tied to the 480Hz PWM flickering. Apple could fix this with high-frequency PWM. Also, the ringer and mute button is useless. I can't tell at a glance if it's on silent like before. The vibration feedback is different, so it takes some getting used to. And speaking of the signal, I also want to talk about it now. Damn it, the signal is really bad. Guys, the joke about iPhone plus Unicom equals disappearing isn't even a joke anymore. Now any random phone, like a Xiaomi Redmi K80 or Huawei Mate X5 beats it. Even Huawei, with its so-so battery life, has way better signal. That goes without saying. The iPhone's battery life? Meh. But the signal is truly terrible. There's no defending it. The iPhone SE4 has just come out, hasn't it? I'm curious to see how it performs, especially with that new in-house baseband. As for the Pro Max, there's not much else to say. In daily use, the system is rock solid. The ecosystem with Mac and headphones is seamless. Even my cheap Huawei headphones worked great. Overall, it lives up to the Pro Max name. At the end of the day, it's still an iPhone. People buy it for a reason. But honestly, there's not much to adapt to on the Pro Max. Charging and the screen are the main things. That's about it. Any other adaptations? Personally, I think it's fine. In general, these experiences let me give you a solid review of the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's a high-end phone, and for those, no mistakes equals victory, right? It has no major issues like signal or glare gates, no fatal flaws, period. Only its ancestral ghost image has not been solved. Only that persistent ghosting issue remains unsolved. But for daily use, its compatibility is really good. I'm also a Xiaomi car owner, and since it supports CarPlay, using my iPhone with the SU7 is great, even though Apple scrapped its car project. iPhone users driving a Xiaomi car feel right at home. They're a perfect match. All in all, it's still great. It pretty much meets all my daily needs. My 512GB model was also about $140 cheaper, right? Still, Apple's storage upgrades are way too expensive. Finally, I want to say the iPhone 16 Pro Max is worth. That's it for this. I'm Coldream. See you in the next video.